about the daily time frame already, so we're gonna go ahead and drop down into a 60-minute time frame and talk about the intraday. As we can see, the intraday has just been straight up all week. If we squanch up the chart, this is our weekly range right here, right? This is this week's trading right here, from this huge gap down all the way up, right? So price has just been going straight up on a rocket ship. All right, price has been on a rocket ship. And if we look over here, right, like we've been saying over and over, it makes sense that we're just going straight up like this, because all of this is very efficiently delivered, right? It's very efficiently delivered. And not only was it efficiently delivered, right, we left that area and traded into a liquidity pool, which was an anticipatory reactionary point, right? We was looking for price to give us some kind of reaction off of that liquidity pool from back in September, from September 2025, right? And once we got that reaction, right, we identified that we were on the right side of a market maker buy model, right? And if we was on the right side of a market maker buy model, right, if we squash this up right here, if you notice, this market maker buy model, it doesn't look like your typical market maker buy model, right? You don't have like all of the clear cut areas of distribution going down. You can't really see, right, a area of, you see like a smart money reversal here, right? You can kind of identify a low risk short there. But once we leave that low risk short, right, there's really only one big area of distribution right here. And we stayed there for a really long time, right? So we only got one big area of distribution. And then once we left that and got our smart money reversal, right? If you been around studying ICT for a while, or if you've been around me for a while, y'all always hear me talk about the original silver bullet, right? And the original silver bullet that Michael taught was, when you get to the last stage of accumulation in a market maker buy model or distribution in a market maker sell model, that buy off of that last stage of accumulation, or that sell off of that last stage of distribution for a sell model, that was the original silver bullet. And that's the lowest resistance liquidity run you will ever find, right? I ain't gonna say ever find, but for a market maker buy model, once you get to that last stage of accumulation in a market maker buy model, it's just a run to the liquidity, right? And what do you see here? We got a smart money reversal, a low risk sale, and then one very large area of distribution, right? Then we get a smart money reversal, right? We get a low risk buy, a first stage accumulation, right? And then we come here. This is our second stage accumulation. It's right across from our initial distribution. So in this market maker buy model, this is going to be your last stage of accumulation. And what do we get? That low resistance liquidity run, where we're cutting through all of this balanced price range.
Let him cook! I said let him cook!
Man, y'all ain't ready for this today. Y'all ain't ready for this today. They say, Tim, why you just been looking for reasons to buy during the daily time frame when all we doing is going up? I just told you right there, right? We've been talking about it all week, cutting through a balanced price range. And if I don't care how far it go, if the algorithm is not showing you a willingness to turn around, do not try to fight the trend. Right? And like I said, what sell side have we taken? Not a one, not a one, not a one, not a one, not a one. You ain't taking no sell side. So what are we looking for? We're looking for them low resistance liquidity runs to go into the buy side. Just like I was talking the other day, I said, hey, today was a rough day for me. I got slapped all upside the head because I was looking for the low resistance run, got a deeper retracement than I anticipated. I didn't give up on the buys, had 2 losses in a row. Third loss brought me back into the green. Third trade brought me back into the green. I'm calling it a day. It was a rough day, but I didn't give up on the bias. I didn't give up on the narrative just because I got caught up in some high resistance times during the New York session. We've been seeing during the New York session, a lot of times the price get very, very choppy. Right? They be doing the Lord's work in the Asian. They be doing the Lord's work in the London. And they get to the New York morning session, start giving all these deep retracements. Retrace to the downside, retrace to the upside, retrace to the downside, retrace to the upside. Right? But when you look back over the day, all thing it's been doing is just going straight up. Just been going straight up. Right? So until we sweep some level of liquidity and then give you a breaking structure, you don't try to change it, right? When we came above this significant high right here and price didn't give us a deeper retracement, keep looking up, right? Because when you take out an intermediate term high, we anticipate a deeper retracement. If it don't give it to us, guess what? We in low resistance condition. You keep looking up. Right? When price forms structure, you don't look for it to break back down past that structure. You just keep looking up. Right? We took out this liquidity over here. Right? Price did not give us a deeper retracement. What do? We keep looking up. Right? We keep looking up. What do we keep looking up off of? We find PD arrays that should act as support once we trade above them. Right? If we're coming up toward those PD arrays, you say, hey, that's got a potential of being resistance. But since we're in a low resistance liquidity run, I want to see price cut through it and then use it as support. Right? And so looking at what we did today, right? As we came up, as price was coming up, right over here, we have a new day opening gap from, what day is that from? Not a new day, opening range gap. I'm sorry. We got an opening range gap from January 29th, 2026. Right? So we got an opening range gap from January 29th, 2026. And then we have a BISI from yesterday at 2 p.m. Right? These are the 2 PD arrays that was on the radar for today. Right? We opened up all the way down here, right? We opened up all the way down here. No, that's yesterday's price. That's yesterday. So today, that's yesterday's open. All right, and then today's open is here. We opened up today here, right? So we opened up today here, right? And what do we open up at? Right there at that new day, that opening range gap. What I say, if you're coming up into it, right, you're looking to the left for stuff that can possibly act as resistance, right? But you want to see it get above it and use it as support for a buy program, right? And then we have our discount PD arrays, right? Where if price wants to trade down first, we got areas that we anticipate supporting price, all right? So when we look at price, what did we do? We opened up today. We went up first. Right? We rallied up first, engaging with the buy side, right? We used the opening range gap from the 29th of January as support, right? Used it as support. We came back up above midnight. Once we got above midnight during the 9 o'clock hour, right? Might have been 9:30. I got it on the hourly time frame, so I can't see that right now. But we traded above midnight. What is that? That's a daily open. So we went back above the true day open, and then we dropped down where? Into this BISI right there. And if we get us a Fibonacci tool, right, stretch it from that high, right, because that's the highest high we made right there during the London, right? Didn't take that London high out, right? That's the highest high we made during the London, right? And if we come down, right, to our order block where we took off, this is our latest expansion, right? This is our expansion here. We never retrace. We never retraced, right? All we did was we went straight up, created an order block, went straight up, right? So we're not watching price from here to here, right? We're watching price from here to here. Why? Because we never retrace. So this is our latest expansion of our entire dealing range, right? That low there to that high. Well, Tim, why'd you pick that high and not that high? Right? Because when we left this balanced price range right here, we went up and we retraced back into a discount, right? So we came back, offered a discount, and from this spot here, we never came back and offered a discount, right? So this is our range that we're looking for trading opportunities. What's in the discount of this range? That BISI from yesterday at 2 p.m., right? That was created during a afternoon kill zone, right? Time is important when PD arrays are created. It was created during a kill zone. It's in the discount of our move. So we're not looking at that fair value gap there. We're looking at that one, right? As buying opportunities, okay? Right? So our opening range gap, that's above price. Like we said, we used it as support, right? Came into our New York session, right? Once we came into our New York session, we traded up above the opening price, right? Why am I pointing out we traded above the true day open? Because where the smart money want to short, they want to short in a premium, preferably above a high and preferably above a opening price, right? So we went above true day open, went above a short-term high, right? And then above our 930 open, because our 930 open is inside here somewhere, right? And then we drop down into a discount of our range into our anticipatory reactionary point, fell just short of the upper quadrant of that range. Let's look and see by how much we fell short, because it visibly looked like we fell short. Let's look and see, get our prices so we're no at our prices to it. And our upper quadrant is 26,274 and a quarter, and the low on this candle right here is 26,275 and a half. So we were a point and a quarter higher than the upper quadrant. So failed to hit the upper quadrant. What does that signify? Strength in price. Why? Because we're trading down into a discount PD array, right? This is an institutional order flow entry drill. What does Michael say? Your best longs will be in the premium of a discount PD array, right? So this long is in the premium. Okay, it went away. I almost had a sneeze. It's gonna come back, right? It's in the premium of our discount PD array, failed to get to the upper quadrant, showing strength, right? And then closed inside of this fair value gap, right? The bodies are still closing inside of it. The wicks are coming down into our discount. We opened up the next candle, dropped down, and kissed it one more time, right? The high of that is 26,292 and a quarter, right? I don't know if y'all can see that right there, but that's the high of that fair value gap right there, 26,292 and a quarter, right? And then the low of that candle right there is 26,290 and a half. So we drop down into that 1 3/4 points. We drop. So that's what? Another institutional order flow entry drill, right? Kissing into that area right there. Also, not only are we kissing into that area right there, there's another imbalance that we are respecting in that area there. If we come over here and we get our magical Fibonacci tool, we're going to go ahead and put it in the 8th grade because we like to put stuff in the 8th grade these days, right? And even if you don't put it in the 8th grade, let's just go ahead and put it in the 4th grade so it's not so hard to see. We're going to put it in the 4th grade, right? We're going to fatten these lines up, and then we're going to make those prices larger, right? We're going to make them prices larger so we can see them, right? And then now let's hide these for a second, right? Where did we fail to get to? We failed to get to that lower quadrant after touching into there. So this candle here, we're trading into our anticipatory reactionary point of the imbalance. This candle here, we're trading down into this imbalance, the wick, right? We drop down into a discount of the wick, right? Drop down below equilibrium one more time, right? Coming into a discount, very slight discount, and then failing to reach the lower quadrant of this imbalance, and then rallying away, showing what? Strength. Okay, now that we've shown that strength, price trades up, 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 right? Takes out the high there, sets relative equal highs, and then we trade all the way back down right around consequent encroachment of the new day opening gap, and then rallies back up and closes above the fair value gap, above the inversion fair value gap, and above the opening range gap. All of the PD arrays that should be supporting price. And it also, come here, you. Come here, you. It also came down into a discount of our latest expansion leg, right? And then from there, we just rolled on out right there, hovering around the opening price. And what do we say about when price doesn't want to leave the opening price? It symbolizes high resistance. And what do we have right here at the opening price? Red candle, green candle, red candle, green candle. What do we call that? Consolidation. What do we call that? Engineering liquidity. What do we call that? Choppity, slappity.
Let him cook!